So this is the new Atom 3 from Potensic. This video is not sponsored, but I'd like to thank Potensic for sending this in for review. If you don't have time to watch the whole video, I'm going to start by answering a few of the questions I think people might have about this drone. So what's new on the Atom 3 compared to the Atom 2? Better battery life, a new image sensor, better signal transmission, some new tracking features, and a new body design. Has the video quality improved? It wasn't bad before, but now it's just a wee bit better, although it's quite subtle. What about low light? Yeah, the new sensor is bigger, so low light is a lot better. What's the transmission range like? They're saying 16 kilometers, but that's quite optimistic. The actual range is very good though, 4 kilometers easily, 5 kilometers on a good day. What about flight time? With the new extended battery, it's outstanding. It's not what they claim, but it's very, very good. I have a pretty good test coming up later in the video for that. And what about the object tracking? Is that good now? Well, we'll talk about it. Is it worth the upgrade from the Atom 2? Maybe. Probably. Is it as good as other drones at this price? They haven't told me the price yet, but if it's priced competitively with DJI's entry level, it's actually better in some ways, but in other ways, not so much. So that's the TLDR. Now let's get into the details. The older, sharper edge design has been replaced with something a bit more sleek and modern, with more curves than an episode of Baywatch. We've got sensors on the bottom for position hold at low altitude, but no obstacle avoidance. I have what they're calling the Screen Remote Fly More Bundle Plus, and that comes with 3 extended range batteries, a fast charger, and the new PTD2 remote. It comes with this thing that protects the gimbal and keeps the props secure and out of the way, and I love it. This is the new PTD2. It has a nice large display and it's very bright. No problem using this on a sunny day and no issues when wearing polarized sunglasses. It has 22 gig of usable storage for screen recording, a microSD card slot, a 5000 mAh battery, 18 watt fast charging, and the best thing, when the drone is doing its return to home, the constant beeping is quiet and gentle and it can be turned off completely with a single click. It also has the new PicSync 5 for better signal and longer range. Keep in mind that the manual states that the Atom 3 is compatible with the new PTD2 and PT2, but it does not mention compatibility with the slightly older PTD1 or the non-display PT1. This is a very well flying machine. It's stable, the position hold works well, it's responsive to stick input, it's just solid. It holds its altitude well in forward flight. As for top speed, I'm getting just over 50 kilometers an hour in sport mode. So being the thorough reviewer that I am, I intentionally launched it into some overhead branches to see how well it would handle crashing and dropping out of the sky from a considerable height. It's all part of my commitment to you, my viewers. It definitely wasn't just me being an idiot and forgetting to set a lower altitude for the initial takeoff when I was testing the Waypoint feature for the first time. Oh Jesus. The good news is that it took this violent impact like an absolute champ. The only bit of damage was one landing leg partially broke and a dab of superglue had it good as new. A very important part of my stress management when flying a drone is to have faith that, should the connection be lost, it'll find its way back to me safely. And having tested this many times and had it pass with flying colours, my heart rate now remains fairly stable when using this feature. This might look like a fail, but landing within a meter of the takeoff point is actually really good. One thing that isn't perfect though, and a little bit scary to get used to, is that when it disconnects because it's out of range, while it's traveling back to the home point, sometimes it won't connect to the remote until it's basically right above me. So there can sometimes be a long, nerve-wracking wait and see period, while I stand there clenching both my jaw and my anus in anxiety. But it always does make it back, even if it can be a bit shy about letting me watch. It has a new and improved sensor, this time a larger 1/1.3 inch. It can shoot in up to 4K 60, and that footage generally looks good and has plenty of detail. For an entry-level drone, I think most people would be very happy with the footage they can capture. But the one weakness that has lingered throughout the Atom series is dynamic range. They still haven't figured out how to prevent those shadows from being crushed when shooting into the sun. I think it has improved a little bit though, and if the sun is higher up, the camera has an easier time. It's just those low to the horizon sunset and sunrise shots where you have to choose, do you want the sky blown out or the ground cloaked in darkness? As for low light, that's had a significant upgrade thanks to the larger sensor which gathers more light. I have the extended range batteries, and Potensic claims that one of those can provide up to 50 minutes of flight time in ideal conditions. If that's true, those ideal conditions are going to occur about as often as my uncle takes a dump without clogging the toilet. I mean, he says it happened once back when he was a young lad just after the war, but no one was actually there to confirm it, so we all take that claim with a generous serving of pickling salt. But all consumer drone manufacturers like to exaggerate their flight times, so what matters are the real-world tests. Alright, so I'm going to do a flight time test of the new Potensic Atom 3. And the batteries that came with this Flymore pack are the extended batteries, which are supposed to give you 50 minutes of flight time. Advertised flight times on these things are never close to real, but it'd be nice if it could do 35. Alright, so 20%, 8 minutes left. And the return to home alert triggered. What I love about this is when the return to home triggers, it starts to beep. It's not a loud beep, but you just press this red button on the left once and it turns off that beeping. And you can just relax for the rest of the journey. So just check the camera. Camera says 36.5 minutes, so about 35 of actual flight time. And it's saying forced landing in just under 4 minutes. It's very quiet, this drone. I'm at 200 meters away. I can't hear it. 170. Nothing. 150. Can't hear it. 110, I can hear it now.
Extremely low drone
battery
level.
Extremely low.
Forced landing.
Right, it's forced landing. Okay. How did we do? Camera's at about 40 minutes, so maybe 39. So I reckon 39. I'll check when I get the video onto the computer, but I reckon about 39 minutes. The Atom 3 is equipped with the new PicSync 5, and for range they're saying 16 kilometers in those ever-elusive ideal conditions. And I think that's just a tad optimistic. But in my friend's tests over her very large private farm, she was able to get 4 kilometers no problem, before heading back early just in case the battery didn't have enough juice for the homeward trip. But she landed with 30% left. The signal held up pretty well at that distance, so I'm thinking 5 kilometers each way would probably be a realistic upper limit. It can do some of the usual automated quick shots that you would expect. I tried the circle one to try and get an orbit of this tree, and I didn't find it all that reliable. It had a hard time keeping the tree in the center in 2 attempts out of 3. And that leads us to one of the features that I feel is another weakness of the Atom 3. In my opinion, tracking on the previous version, the Atom 2, wasn't great. It wasn't very reliable, and I found it so annoying to set up a shot that I just never used it. The reason it was annoying was because it's extremely fussy about the angle that the gimbal must point before the tracking modes could be enabled. And sadly, that fussiness has carried over to the Atom 3. Setting up a parallel shot is just as fiddly as before. The display warns you that you must set the gimbal to within a specific and narrow range of angles, resulting in the drone having to always be up too high and pointing down at what I find to be an uninteresting viewing angle. I don't understand why it has this heavy restriction, but for me it makes the feature pretty much unusable. Not only that, but even when you are tracking, it loses lock quite easily. There is an important silver lining though. This time around, Potensic has added a low altitude toggle to the tracking settings, which does allow you to do tracking shots from a more typical and much more useful angle. This makes the tracking feature actually somewhat useful. I say somewhat because, while this does solve the angle issue, it only works in follow mode, not parallel, and the tracking system still loses luck if you go faster than a brisk jog. That difficulty in keeping lock is another area where I hope a few updates could bring improvements. It struggles when I'm cycling, and even when I'm just using spotlight mode and walking back and forth, its success rate is lower than I would have hoped. Where it doesn't struggle though, is with its ability to complete pre-planned, fully autonomous missions, with its impressive Waypoint feature. This lets you create a flight path by adding points to the map and having it follow that path with no input from the user whatsoever and return back to home base. You can even customize each waypoint in quite a detailed way, choosing the altitude, the heading, the gimbal angle, whether you want to zoom in, things like that. And what's going to be especially exciting for some people is that it doesn't even require a connection to the remote in order to complete its mission. So signal strength is not a factor. The range is only limited by the battery life. Though do check your local laws before you use this feature, and if you're in Europe, that option to complete the mission without a connection is not available. So that's the Potensic Atom 3, a very well behaved aircraft with a decent camera that offers a lot of features and performance for an entry-level drone. In fact, I don't even think you can really call it entry-level anymore because it's so capable now, and it has the advanced Waypoint system and long flight times and all that. It's getting a pretty big thumbs up from me, and if you found this video useful or interesting, I'd appreciate a thumbs up from you. I'd love to hear what you think. Would you buy this over the alternatives? Is 38 minutes a long enough flight time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.